see each and every one of y'all in the chat right now hanging out. Fallout here joined alongside Monster D-Face. We appreciate all the positivity, all the love in the chat. Also, we appreciate when Anas took the L after getting that pick on Revscar. That was huge. And here's the moment you wanted to chat about a little bit, Monster. We were talking in the little break we had with Kinzel. He barely survived that game and was able to actually make it to late game and put himself in the standings.
Yeah, that is one of the most ridiculous moments right there. You talk about the butterfly effect and how your engagements lead into, you know, all of your future actions and what's going to happen to you. That right there for Kinzel was the defining moment, battling inside the storm. But Fallout, we have game number 4 underway now. The battle bus is taking off here, and this is looking like the perfect split across the Fortnite world.
Yeah, this is what you like to see for as a starter. Everyone gets to pretty much hit their favorite POIs at an even time. Mongrel is who we're going to kick things off with to start. Guess where he's headed? You better believe it. Southeast towards Caddy Corner. He's been dropping there every single game. He's been the alpha of this lobby, and it is working. He is currently within the top 10.
Well, the difference last game was that Anas secured Kit's mythic loot, then to rotate into Revscar and hit a little bit of a rematch, the round 2 fight in game 3, which this time ended in Anas's favor. So 1-1 for Revscar via Nas. Let's see if Mongrel can avoid that static there, and will Anas be able to hit Revscar again on the rotate out the door? That's what I want to see most this game.
Yeah, absolutely crazy. I love what I'm seeing right now on screen. I mean, you set it up perfectly. Toos, Anas, and Mongrel, 3 huge names dropping nearby. It looks like Toos and Anas are actually going to jump into engagement a lot sooner. Mongrel's going to be content just looting the outside area first and foremost, taking out some of this AI, getting some loot, getting some shields. Look at this.
Oh,
though.
no way.
Oh, Mongrel's so close. One more shot would have made the difference. That gives Toos a huge advantage.
Man, if he didn't just miss that first shot accuracy, that first shot would have been the difference. He would have got a free elimination off the bat. That would have been 200 shield for him off the rip with free loot to go pick up and scoop up to then wrap up Toos. But either way, he knows that those guys are hurt and he can possibly secure and capitalize in on this. Now the question is Mythic's loot on his side of the field or the other side of the playing field here now? As Anas somehow with no HP comes out alive as Toos plays bearish on the drop here and backs up towards retail.
Wow, I can't believe Anas was able to actually get Toos to back out and reset. Nice job by Mongrel, who's going to recognize it. Great awareness for him.
Yeah, the Mythic loot.
Picks up the elim on Toos.
Toos had the mythic loot. Look, he sees it. Mongrel's already dropping his inventory. Yes, he's setting up. He's just going to scoop it up and keep it going.
That's perfect.
That is exactly the perfect situation.
Ideal. Now Mongrel is so well positioned, and he might know that Anas was hurt because he had him tagged up a little bit earlier. He obviously doesn't see the same intel that we see. He clearly has an advantage in this fight, unlike Toos, who actually decided to back out in that fight against Anas, even though it was pretty even, which in my eyes, a little bit cautious, a little too passive. It's actually going to be Mongrel who's going to get the great advantage in this one.
That's right. And remember, he knows since Toos was so lit up, this isn't a battle that exchanged between the two players. Anas, though, tries to get some of that compact SMG loot off the enemy. It's not going to be inside of his box. So that's a disadvantage for Anas, too, now. This is not looking good for Anas at all. Mongrel feels the confidence here. He's already got the elim that he desperately needs. Look at that map awareness there. Being able to just know how to maneuver the field here is so beautiful, so perfect. That wall in front of him is very weak, too. So he's got some options here, some decisions to make on how he wants to execute this fight. He's going to be a little more passive here, play it smart, and gather up some material instead of full diving in this time.
Yeah, he knows he has the advantage here. He knows, hey, let me just take my time. Let me just chill. I have the way better loot. I know Anas is a little bit tagged up. He's going to play this slow, which I like. But again, yeah, great map awareness. I feel like I'm watching Nick Merckx and Aiden in Tilted Towers right now with how well he's moving from building to building and leveraging his surroundings. Taking his time. This fight is going to be extended over time. I'm interested to see who's going to come out on top. This is huge.
There it is. Mongrel positioned himself in a more dominant position, trying to play off that right angle. It's not going to work, though. He's going to get tagged first this time. Now the pressure coming in. You have to think that Anas has to be running out of material. He is only 5 builds, and that's why Mongrel took the extra additional time to do the farming. Anas cannot leave this spot because of the fact that he doesn't have many mats. He's trying to recycle what's already built here and play that to his benefit. It only takes one big charge shot, though.
Yeah, that's exactly right. But he only has 2 shotgun shots, and he's actually going to dip right out of there. So leveraging the map to his advantage if he can, and Nas is able to escape for now. But guess what? Benji has the shockwave launcher. He knows exactly where to go. He's hunting for a Nas. A little bit of a maze, a little bit of a fight. Anas not done yet. He's still running. He's trying to just hide behind this rock if he can. I think this is going to be Mongrel all day. That's going to be it. Anas gets taken out from this one. Nice shot from Mongrel.
I love what Anas did there. He was trying to, rotate away using the dumpster there to get out. He tried to make him sway to the porta potty with some loot, but it's just not going to be enough. And the reason he couldn't jump in a porta potty, you hear the shots down the mountain. He would have just rotated into another enemy anyways. So honestly, the fact that Anas stood here and just gave the Elim to Mongrel works out in Mongrel's favor a lot, because that could have easily been 5 points that went somewhere else.
Yeah, that's a great point. Anas coming into this one, not sure where he was sitting. I'm trying to find out if I can in standings. Anas at 50, oh my gosh, wow, 73rd place with 15 points only. So that was a massive, massive elimination right there. Him getting taken out early in this game puts him in a really, really rough spot. If he could have gotten Mongrel, if he could have somehow gotten the upper hand in that fight, which was tough to do, he would have had Mythic Salute. He would have been a good spot instead. If you're a Mongrel fan, you better be excited right now, because he has the God tier. Meanwhile,
That's right.
the fans, Benji's going to get another one.
Yeah, Benji finally finding something that he needs here. Remember, he's middling in the tournament right now. This is not great, not good by any means, but hey, an Elim is one step in the right direction that needs to be in. The last time we saw him and Queasy here playing this early game, it ended up being a stalemate, and both of them made it to endgame, and that was in that game number 1. I called it out, the fact that he will not take the fight against Queasy. He will take the fight against other players, and you're seeing it happen here now again. Sometimes you just got to respect some of your opponents, and Queasy's one of the ones who's earned that respect here in the drop spot. We'll see, though. Benji hovering around here for long might just expose him out to the street, might expose him out to Queasy. Got to think that Queasy knows he's there. On the other side, here's a fight that we've seen before. Luca versus Lanouf in the early game.
Yeah, this is a big one. Luca currently in 3rd place as it currently stands. So can he will he get taken out early? Lanouf is knocking on the door of top 20 as well. We'll see if Lanouf can get the elimination on Luca right here and really grief his placement, grief his consistency. Because 2 games in a row, Luca's actually one of the best, most consistent placers so far in this series. 2 games in a row, he's placed top 2.
That's right, and both of these guys are doing great, by the way. Luca standing strong in the standings. Lanouf just there as well. We talk about players just being outside into top 20, top 22. That's where he is. He's right out there with Casper A. So Lanouf, this is a big engagement for him as much as it is for Luca. There's a lot on the line here. This is the ramifications on the line are thousands and thousands of dollars. Literally your top 10, your top 5 spot in the air potentially off of this one single fight. Let's see how this will play in the timeline.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting sweaty over by Sweaty Sands right now. Lanouf with high ground. Luca needs to be cautious. Currently, advantage Lanouf. As I say that, advantage flipped. It's going to be Luca, who does a great job getting Lanouf off guard. Lanouf actually made that edit, and Luca took advantage of it. So a smart play from Lanouf, trying to be one step ahead. It's a chess match between these two, and the crash pads are finally going to come out. Luca is playing so aggressive. W keying right now with the SMG. Lanouf's able to get one mini pot off. Can he get the second? Yes, he will. We're back in advantage of Lanouf.
Yeah, listen, Luca knows one move, and it's compact in your box, boom, boom, right? It's just holding a button and going. Lanouf, though, is going to get tagged here by a hunting rifle trying to rotate in, and no, he gets dived in on again. This time around, it's CRR, who's on the other side. CRR, who fell so early in the previous game. I think around 80th or 90th place now. CRR is struggling in this tournament here. He's got a lot of just distance to cover here if he wants to be in this marathon.
That's exactly right. Only 15 points for CRR. His debut under the Fnatic banner. Congratulations by getting signed, but not the best start for him. He's got to have a really big second half. And we talked about it with Kelly. Much like traditional sports, for anyone that watched the Super Bowl a few years ago, the Atlanta Falcons and the Patriots, where the Atlanta Falcons were up at halftime by like 30, 40 points. The Patriots had a great second half. Same thing can happen here. We're in the second half of this tournament, and players that did not have a good first half can pop off with a great second half. CRR needs to be one of them. Benji is another one.
Yeah, definitely. On the other side, though, Jaspe, who's at the top, who's in the running right now for first place, landing at Authority. Such an interesting drop spot considering how many big names are playing here. We saw, Castery here. We saw Aqua here. We saw all of them all hold the Mythic Loot at least one time while rotating out of here. We haven't seen Jaspe with it just yet. Not this time. You can see why. He just plays the outside, plays for the floppers, and tries to get what he can off the fortress outer lying area of the Authority here. He doesn't even bother getting inside, but you can see how it's working out for him. I mean, he's slowly but surely putting together a loot that is looking all right.
That's exactly right. And then Janice currently in 4th place, right behind Luca in 3rd. 157 points coming into this one. But keep in mind, only 2 points separates him and Luca, who has 159. And then only 6 points separates Luca and Squeeze, who has 165. So it's really, really close at the top right now. It's a little bit top heavy. because eighth place is 127. So really the top 5, top 6 are super top heavy in points, from 155 to 177 from 5th to 1st respectively. A few points only separates these top placers. Mongrel looking to get in that picture, currently in 10th.
Yeah, Mongrel's still there as well. Knight's just nearby too. And what I wanted to say before we left that Janus picture there is that Janus is the guy that I'm really putting my money on. I'm hedging my bets on, because Teak isn't in this game. Tayson isn't in this grand finals either, which means Steamy Stacks is all his. But it's between Kinzel and Janus there that's sharing Steamy Stacks. Normally you have a 4-way pretty much championship level battle going on up there. Now it's only, one factor left. So for that, I think Janus is looking very, very good in this competition right now. He's got a lot going for him already.
Yeah, on screen right now, we have Hen, and we do get some good info. Janus currently in 4th place, as mentioned. Hen on screen, 94 points for Hen. Blake is another one in 34th, who had a game where he could have gotten 1st place, could have gone huge, but got taken out some way, somehow on the flank by Luca. So that was the game he probably wants back. He needs to now find another one of those if he can. Looks like he may change it up, though. I don't know if I saw Blake drop over towards Caddy. I'm not sure where Blake is. Is Blake dropped in the same area? But on board out now with Milan and Hen.
Definitely here. Hen, someone you got to keep an eye out on. He just came 4th in the last grand finals for FNCS solos. So he's on top of his game right now. He's been rising in stock as a competitive player, really finding his footing. I think I want to say ever since it was DreamHack and then moving into, of course, the invitationals, Hen was just doing his thing. He was showing up in qualifying days, and now he's showing up in grand finals days. That's exactly what you want from a pro player, especially as time goes on, is to see improvements, and then to be able to track that improvement is one that we're seeing with Hen beautifully.
I'd say Hen, top 30 player in my eyes. The Englishman is very, very solid, been consistent, great performances in FNCS, as you mentioned. It's been good to see his consistency over time. But speaking of consistency, he's going up against another pretty solid and consistent player, Refsgard, also in a fight with Milan. 3-way battle, 3-way tango. Who's going to come out on top? It looks like a 4th person trying to enter the party outside with the 3rd-party long-range shots. Refsgard playing with so much aggression, but I'm not sure if this is the right idea for Refsgard. He needs to get this elim quick, because Hen is knocking on the door as well. If he doesn't get this elimination, Hen might come in and swoop up both of them.
That's right. If this was a sandwich, you do not want to be the meat here. And Refsgard continues to find himself in the middle somehow. But no, he's switching the team here. He's switching the story. And now, yes, he puts Milan in the middle. He's not on the outside. So Refsgard, at least, although he doesn't get the elim, he does get to secure the loot. And that's just as impactful as Hen finding the points here, too. So it's somewhat of a trade. If I'm in this situation, honestly, I want the loot more so than the 5 points right now, because Hen is in a scary situation. Only 73 builds now, and he has to move on out of there. He needs to get away from Refsgard, because Refsgard is clearly a psycho right now.
That's exactly right. Yeah, Refsgard's playing out of his mind. The fact that Refsgard played that aggressive in a fight with 2 people nearby, a 3rd party right next door with Hen, yeah, clearly he's playing out of his mind. He's playing some psychopath type of gameplay. On board now with Savid over towards Salty Springs. So we might have the answer to our question here, as Savid likely dropping on the north side of the map towards Salty, as now he's making the rotation in and leveraging a boat on landmass. You don't see that very often.
That's right. And guys in the DreamHack chat, feel free to confirm with us where Savid is landing. I'm actually so curious. I'm assuming it's got to be that craggy cliffs or somewhere up there. He's coming in from so far, possibly even maybe the coastal corals area out on the outer skirts, is somewhere very far. If he's still in the zone right now, still in the storm, making a super late rotate with the boat.
Yeah, I'd be really curious to understand where he's dropping as well. So if anyone has that intel, it's a team effort here. Much appreciated from anyone in the chat that might be watching. And it looks like Ops is going to say Pleasant Park. All right, you guys are the best, man. Appreciate you. Ops to Destroyer, thank you. Looks like he is dropping Pleasant, according to the chat. So thank you for the intel, y'all. Much appreciated. And then rotates north. Copy that.
Here it is. We get that 360 perspective here, the full info guide to continue the story here. Jaspe, though, he's getting tagged by Storm Surge Fallout. That's why his health is falling right now. We may not see the indicator or the surge. There it is. You see it there when the shield gets cracked. So the way Storm Surge works is every couple seconds, if there's a certain number of players alive, it's based off of damage done in the lobby. It will start targeting the players with the lowest damage dealt. And that's to keep the lobby contained, to make sure that, things stay great for performance-wise. So just like that, Jaspe does manage to survive it, but it costs him 4 floppers and all of his shields to do so. Now it's up to him really to honestly get in the fight here. He doesn't have anything. Remember, He's in first place here. So the passive play, the passive nature, I don't judge him for, right? This is what you want to do with the lead, but what can you do now as Storm Surge clears you of all of your shields, and now he's gone to Wakey.
Yeah, see you later, Jaspe. By the way, #1 player in the lobby coming into this game. Great job by Wakey taking out the first place player. And once again, that means we will see a shakeup in standings. It's been not one clear winner, which I personally love. You as a viewer, if you want some top tier competitive Fortnite gameplay, you probably love that as well. But Luca's another one. If he gets eliminated, that's going to open things up. You don't want to see just one player run away with the tournament, because that means there's not as much to talk about. I love that this is anyone's game at this point. Luca is in a horrible position, finally going to get 53 HP, but that's not going to be enough. He's going to get taken out here momentarily.
Yeah, there it is, and he finally falls now. So now we're seeing the exchange of the top players getting dropped out of the competition. This is really opening up the playing field. You said it best. When it's like that, I mean, we love to see it, but you also hate to see it, because players that have had the perfect first half, this is not that perfect half. We talked about the story of the Falcons versus the Patriots in the Super Bowl, right? When you have that lead and you can lose it. This is that happening here. Jaspe's down and Luca's down.
Especially when Tom Brady's alive, a.k.a. FaZe Mongrel. 124 points to his name. The GOAT of EU. Been doing it since the beginning. Again, summer skirmish, fall skirmish back in 2018. Mongrel's been performing. Back when he was young. He was, you know, I don't think he was old enough to compete at one point when the restriction was 16. Now it's down to 13, of course. So we've had all types of monsters. You know, King in World Cup from Argentina had to pop off, and so many more players at the 13, 14-year-old range. Mongrel's obviously a lot older than that now, but great to see the young legend Mongrel popping off here in the second half.
That's right. Fortnite, one of the only esports to do it. On the other side, though, we have just outside of the zone a stacking of enemies here, and some big names too. It's 4ZR, it's Gancheto. I see Slicks off in the distance. I see Snap, Umi, all of which are sitting up on top of one another. CRR, part of that congestion as well. This is a sucky position to be in, because you have so many Slayers waiting for the other to make the move, and whoever goes first is probably going to be the guy that gets punished, unless somehow everyone decides, you know, in unison, hey, it's not worth it for anyone to stick around here. Let's get out of here. Let's do it now. The first to go goes flying. Umi's gonna follow on in out. 4ZR hears it. There goes Gancheto. All right, it's like a little train going on now. Everyone get on the bus. Get out of here. Get to the zone. And it looks like they call the shots to rotate together.
It's like a bunch of rabbits running out. It was a family out of their rabbit hole, but it's a pretty evil rabbit, because Gancheto's gonna get taken out the Spaniard by Snap. He is the one that's gonna stop the conga line and ruin the day of Gancheto, the Spaniard. As mentioned, Snap now, very consistent performer, 69 points. Had to call that out, as he is quite behind. As Snap, very consistent player, always finds a way to make it to these finals. But again, one of those players that's looking to get his first major championship. I don't think I've ever seen him win a pop-off type of championship in a major.
Through that, though, here it is now, jumping in with Andilix. On the other side, 63 players remain. He's right below the Storm Surge threshold. The difference now for him is, can he step it up? Remember, with 63 players up means 13 players have to fall in the next 45 seconds, or this is going to wreak havoc on the lobby. The northern portion, the northern half, is where the majority of the lobby is now, and this is the biggest threat you can see, because most of the players up there are going to be the ones that are going to start diving into each other's box. In this crash pad meta, it's a worst case scenario.
That's exactly right. Andalix, you know, speaking of GOATs, Andalix trying to say, hey, I'm up there in contention as well, just based on his recent performances and his recent consistency. He's been playing out of his mind. He has the most first place finishes of any player in Europe, the Frenchman. He's been playing so incredibly well, as we see him on screen right now. As we're waiting for the server to catch up here. Apologize, y'all. As obviously, server sometimes has to load, and we have to kind of catch up in this replay system. Replay system is great. It allows us to see action like that. 4ZR getting taken out by Andalix. But obviously, it does take some time for the server to catch up sometimes. But as long as we caught the shot, that's all I care about.
Absolutely, and that's a big elim here. Remember, Andilix is close to that top 10 now with 119 points, 2 eliminations in this game here. He's setting himself up for a monstrous game, for a big stride, possibly a big run for first place. Our first and second place players are out now. It's up to players like Janice. It's up to players like Mongrel now, who are still in this game, still accruing points. Can Giannis, our FNCS Invitational champion, do it again and finally secure himself a DreamHack Cup? Is the question right now. Refsguard, though, on the other side, who was taken out by a Nos in that previous game, has managed to survive his rotate on out. because the Nos was dropped by Mongrel in the early game this time around. So it's interesting to see. When one player falls, it just opens up the playing field for others. On the other side, though, Lyson for the console to the PC here, looking to show up. No, it's not going to be enough, but 120 points. At least he gets something before he's taken out.
Yeah, he got a little gift, but he was in 16th with 98. That's a decent showing for him. They'll keep him in the top 20, I think. Refsguard on screen with, you mentioned players that are looking to get their first championship, looking to take home a first place finish. Refsguard is one of them, playing under the E11 banner for the first time. He just got signed as an official pro player, signed player. Guess what? Rocket to the face on Wakey. He's going to pick up one.
And there you guys have it now. 90 points for Refsguard. All of a sudden, he fell behind once, but he's not looking to do it again. He's closing that gap like he never left. Halfway into the competition, already at 3 eliminations. This is a massive impact frag here, Fallout. Let's not forget now, he has max material. He has floppers, is everything he needs. Even the win condition here, found in the RPG. So with 1 second remaining, we're going to find out where it is that he has to rotate through, and he actually catch zone favor as well. This is so good for Refsguard. It looks like he might just be able to come back all the way to the top, even after falling out of the running by getting dropped in the last game.
Exactly right. Huge pickup. You said impact frag. We use that term often. It's basically a frag or an elimination that's going to help you get positioned to win in the final game, and that's definitely one of them. Look at this loot. God tier loot right now. 3 jump pads, or 2 at least. I'm looking at my screen here, squinting. Gold AR, 11 rockets of a purple RPG, and of course the purple tac shotgun, which is good for box fights, and then of course the heals. Floppers will allow him to retake high ground if he wants to. He'd love to have a few more floppers if he can find them. The Refsguard's in a really good position here, and max mats, by the way.
We're in such a different position, such a different atmosphere in this game here. Halfway into the competition, now we're seeing Storm Surge every single zone tick over. For the first 3 games in EU, it was nothing but a frag-off fest. Now we're seeing the pace change. It's the second half. It's where the champions know, hey, I got to slow it down. I got to play it smart, and I got to do something different this time, as do all the other players that are trying to play catch-up here. I saw Bongro still alive. I see Refsguard still alive here. I'm pretty sure Giannis is still alive as well. He's got a little bit of high ground. Here's Refsguard with the RPG. He's going to find one, and oh my gosh, just be able to secure the loot there. Not the elim, but still picks up some loot that's left over. Now looking up at height, here's Alfred is in his line of sights. What is he going to do? Remember, like we said before, this RPG is a win factor for Refsguard. All he has to do is continue to hold it out and make it through the end game. Still, great material as well.
Yeah, that is definitely part of his win condition, is that RPG. Mongrel got taken out, though, at the top of my screen by Janus. That's a huge pick by the reigning champ of SNCS in Janus, a monster in his own right. Refsguard on screen. CRR just got signed by Fnatic. He's going to take out one. Guess what? That's going to be Janus. That's a huge pick. Impact frag in its own right, because it took out one of the best players in the lobby in Janus. Refsguard trying to do the same thing. He's trying to take out some Titans as well. We're going to jump on board with CRR.
So CRR now playing upset again, dropping someone who was in top 5. I saw Kinzel still alive. If Kinzel stays up, he can steal first place. Refsguard's gonna get an elim tick over from the Storm Surge too. So Refsguard still getting points here. And now CRR has height. What a scary sight to be in here with 400 material. Is it enough to be able to hold it? I don't know, because you see the shockwave launcher still coming out and playing upset. Refsguard though, finding his 4th elimination now onto Quartz. That's so good. 139 points. The comeback story for Refsguard here is ridiculous. Look at the builds here, even optimizing as well. You can see he's playing out of his mind, and the movement is so good.
This young man is out of his mind. Such a top player. This is his game to lose right now. I hate to give him any type of caster's curse, but look at his inventory. We've been talking about it. We've been following it since the early late game. He is in a great position right now. I wonder who has Kit's loot. Oh my gosh, beautiful right-handed rocket. Rocket's gonna be picked up as well. 7 players in total in this lobby. He's actually gonna go be a little bit greedy and try and get more loot. Did he need that? I'm not sure. The mats definitely help, but he does have the floppers, and he can use this to take high ground. That's a wise decision from Refsguard.
Yeah, it's the perfect thing to do. You see extra floppers when he already had them. He's going to play right into that. Like we said before, floppers are meta here. It's the reason why players like Cooper on NA East were going to be able to take the championship away. It's playing to the strengths. And now Refsguard, 6 eliminations, is looking to do just that. It seems like everyone else is now out of material. Can Refsguard clutch up one more time? Is all he's going to have to do is find his tactical shots. We know that he can do it here. He has the material. That's why he went into the storm here. Okay, loses the ramp in front of him, though. Still on the run, still on the scramble. And now I think he realizes that he might be able to do this. The RPG comes out on the quick edit. The jump down as well. Can he track? It's one more shot, and he does. He gets it. 7 eliminations, possibly even 2nd place now.
You gotta be kidding me. Refsguard had someone jump into his box, still managed to get away, stayed alive, had the intelligence to take out the RPG, get the damage, and secure the W. Massive game for Refsguard. That's gonna shake things up quite a bit. You'll love to see it in game number 3. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we'll break it all down.
Not stymie or deny me. If you wanna try me, you can go and take your best shot. But I be tighter than a headlock from a fighter with a leg lock. I'm supreme like a guillotine. You can hear the scream when they head pop. Why'd I do it? I had to prove it. Had to keep it moving. Life is like a movie. I be living out my own script. Don't need you. I got my own hits. Immature but on the grown tip. Do not play with fire. Walking on the wire. Sooner or later you gon' slip. I'm the epitome. Determination. You cannot get rid of me. That would be an abomination. Just an observation, not a consultation. Ain't no moderation when I'm moderating. I'm giving you all I got. So sit back, enjoy and watch. I'm willing to do what they when I do. I'm willing to say what they when I say. And what about you? I said, what about you? Whatever it takes. I'm willing to do what they when I do. I'm willing to say what they when I say. But what about you? I said, what about you? Whatever it takes. I'm giving you all I got. So sit back, enjoy and watch. I'm a rebel with purpose. Yeah, I said it on purpose. Turn me up if you heard this. I said turn me up if you heard this. A champion's battle cry. When I go into battle, I'm always aiming for a victory. If I do not get it, I'm not satisfied. Do what I gotta do. Bringing it from the start. Yeah, you can teach skill, but you cannot teach hard. Get 'em up. Get 'em up. Get 'em up. Get 'em up. I'm willing to do what they when I do. I'm willing to say what they when I say. But what about you? I said, what about you? Whatever it takes. I'm willing to do what they when I do. I'm willing to say what they when I say. But what about you? I said, what about you? Whatever it takes.
If you need a helping hand, look up to the sky and pray. If you need a helping hand, look up to the sky and pray.
Welcome back, everyone, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. We have finished our 4th game of the Grand Finals competition here for our European region, which means 2 are left. Who is going to be able to clinch the first place spot and walk away with $16,000? That is a lot of money, and the difference between first place and second place, if I can look it up real quick, I actually don't even know, chat, but it is a lot of money. So these players are going to be doing whatever they can to get as many points as they can in these last 2 games. Calling all of the action, it's none other than Monster D-Face and Fallout. Monster, how are you feeling about the grand finals so far?
Yeah, the game's looking great. I mean, after that dub right there, Refsguard got me on the edge of my seat. Might have to VOD review that one, honestly, because that was a banger of a game.
Let's actually review it right now and take a quick look at the highlights for some of the best plays that we got to see in game number 4.
Exactly right. A lot of highlights, a lot of great moments right there. That was one of them. That was Mongrel. Long range shot on Toos, then picked up the elimination right after on a Nas. Look at this. Marine. Greedy. We didn't catch that on stream. He was going for a pickaxe limb. I don't know if that's the move. That ain't it.
Yeah, it's all making sense why as well as why Marine is not in the top of the standings. Remember, we talked about can he run back in the first or in the back half He was in 80-something place. It's all making sense. The pirate ship is so contested. Players that needed elims there. Benji was one of them. Refsguard was one of them too, and he did that in this game, showing you that, hey, just because you lose a game or two, you can make your strides, you can make your comeback. Mongrel did that as well. Let's not forget the mentality, the God mentality. He was dropped instantly in game 2, but game 3 and 4 have been going so great for him. I am super keen to see what the standings are looking like, because this is shaping up to be so good for most of our players that were at the top.
Yeah, and I love how Refsguard played this. We're going to take a closer look later on. But we talked about his win condition. We kept mentioning it. The RPG was undoubtedly the primary win condition in his inventory. The floppers, of course, right, number 2 is complementary. He used both of them to perfection. I love every second of what I saw from Refsguard right there. The fact that he had the awareness, the wherewithal to take up that RPG to get the quick 120 damage to secure the win in a game that, honestly, when that individual jumped into his box, he had no business winning. He still was able to come out on top. That was perfect gameplay from Refsguard.
Now, Fallout, I completely agree. Let's just jump right into where we see Refsguard and how well he performed in game number 4 to grab that victory royale.
Yeah, I actually see the replay of his entire game as well. It was huge from first elim to second elim. Looks like we're going to catch all of them. He used that win condition so incredibly well, and I'm glad we now get to see it. Look how perfect he was playing here, Monster. You definitely have to value this. Simply, you do.
Yeah, you're just looking at the frags, these impact eliminations, these key eliminations. And honestly, the riskiest thing you can do is use that rocket launcher in the final endgame like that. And I mean, he was making it connect too. So the timing was beautiful. More importantly, keeping his calm in those final moments. The fact that he even found that 7th elim down in the water like that, like his awareness was top tier.
Well, let's see what 7 eliminations and a victory royale does for Refsguard in our top 20 leaderboard right now. I would imagine that we're going to be seeing him in the top 10, if not the top 5. And 6th place right now, Refsguard, after that victory royale in game number 4. But Kinzel up and top. You guys were talking about him, that this is one of the most consistent players, and there he is up and top now. Out of the 4 games that he's placed, it's 4th, 15th, 17th, and 13th, which is actually quite surprising to see him place okay in the top 20 each game, but to be first right now, right behind him though, it is Janice with 192 points. Jaspe is going to be in 3rd, and then we have Knight in 4th and Deexy in 5th. But I really want to call attention to 3rd through 9th place are all 1 point away from each other.
Yikes.
Actually insane. That's insane. So, and it's anyone's game for top 2, top 3. Even Kinzel has to be careful. He has a little bit of a lead. One thing I want to call attention to is Refsguard, his elim points, 70 points from eliminations. He is outslaying everybody in the lobby. Lysen right behind him with 65, all the way down in 18th place. But Refsguard's been slaying out. He unfortunately hasn't had the consistency and placement. He got taken out earlier, or very early on, by a Nas in game number 2. That really cost him. But now Refsguard is sitting in a good spot, really good position to potentially get for a victory overall in this tournament.
And literally my 2 callouts, like my 2 players to take this entire series was Janice and Kinzel. And I called it in that last game. I said it. I was like, the fact that they have steamy stacks to one another, the fact that Teak is not in this game, the fact that, Tayson didn't qualify for grand finals. These are factors that play into this grand finals. Those are championship players that are not landing in their general area, in that northeastern area towards steamy stacks. So Kinzel and Janice play around that area, and it's no surprise, honestly, the fact that they're performing well this time around. They're the scariest to look out for because they already have their routes. They have championship routes mapped out, and they don't have championship players to fight now coming in. So I think they have a very big advantage going in their favor.
And I know this isn't something that we typically see in grand finals. The people don't usually adjust their drop spots, especially into game number 5 here. But what are all these other players going to do now going up against Kinzel and Janice, who have about a 20-point lead compared to the rest of the pack, Monster?
I think there's nothing you can do. So Janice won the FNCS Invitationals. Right after that, Teak won. And again, these are players that are coming out of the same era. And then Tayson just won. There's something about the strategy that they're all employing out of this northeastern portion that it doesn't matter. Against all odds, consistency around that little bubble are breeding championship rotates, championship performances. It's like literally the paper speaks for itself.
And I think the reason for that is we talk about how congested the south of the map is. We talk about how the alpha of the lobby is always going to drop over towards Caddy's corner, but that opens up the north side of the map to be relatively open. And again, we always say that placement is key. If you can go north and not get in these early engagements, stay alive, you're more likely to stay consistently in placing within the top side of the map or within the top placements. That other than like versus Refsguard and a lot of these players who are getting in these engagements outside of retail row that are costing them their lives. So I think that north side might be a sneaky play. Mr. Savage won by playing north side in the boat. I think that is the move here if you can stay away from all the action.
Yeah, will it be the move? Will Kinzel stay in first place, or will Janice steal it from him? Or maybe a new player is going to claim first place? Well, we're going to find out real soon. Game 5 out of 6 will be starting after this break, so don't go anywhere.